Okay, so it's time for another unedited video because every so often I just like unloading my brain juice onto you, the viewer, and this is also a great way to get easy content with minimal effort put in. I can see why this is so appealing to so many YouTubers, but the art that I'm going to be talking about today is far more creatively bankrupt than this. I'd just like to talk about how I have a strong dislike of this short film Opal by Jack Stauber. Now, his name sounds like the name of a fucking TV dinners company, and he has, the fucking mustache and beard, which I just don't get. I have to wonder, what happened to just being clean shaven? Like me all the time, after like 7 days, I just take a razor and shave my shit off because I wouldn't look good with a mustache and beard. I mean, I've never really tried it, but I just know I wouldn't look good with a mustache and beard. Why does every guy these days have like a mustache and beard going? That's the big popular thing. Let's get a mustache and a beard going. Just the typical hipster look. And, this wasn't the case back in, like, the 70s. Back in the 70s, guys didn't have the ZZ Top look going unless they were in fucking ZZ Top and could, like, rock a beard. Some guys can rock a beard and mustache pretty convincingly. I'll give them that. Some can. But so many just would look so much better with just none of that. But we're currently in a masculinity crisis where all these whiny guys are like, oh no, I'm a guy, but now women are empowered, so what is my purpose anymore? I used to be the strong one, and now I'm a weakling, so let me grow my face out so that people will be reminded of what a big strong man I am. There's just like a psychological subconscious aspect to it. But anyway, enough about Jack Stauber's beard. This short film of his, Opal, is just like total crap, and this is what goes viral. And I remember I first saw it like two years ago, like right after it came out, because someone was like, "This is a great example of claymation," and I was like, "Oh, it's on Adult Swim? Okay, it's going to be shit then. Everything on Adult Swim has been shit since like 2010, when they like ended their most popular series and just like total shit." But basically, I'm a huge advocate of claymation. I fucking love claymation. I own Gumby the movie on VHS. It's the shit. To anyone who's never seen it, the plot is that like Gumby goes to fucking outer space and Gumby fucking he's like turns into a pancake on the table of the King Arthur's court and shit. Gumby the movie's a fucking romp to anyone who's never seen it. And I'm amazed at the amount of people who haven't seen it, even though it's like one of the most bodaciously awesome 80s movies ever made, right? So, I like Gumby. Gumby's the shit. Gumby's a wholesome hero that we can all get behind. I'm big into Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill's fucking hilarious. Classic. I can't get enough of Mr. Bill. And, every single Mr. Bill skit brings me nothing but joy. Even though it's technically not like claymation, because Mr. Bill is, like, still in most of the frames. But, admirable shit. It's kind of dark. It's kind of like if Adult Swim was actually good, like Mr. Bill. That's a good example of like competent, like dark animation that's kind of fucked up, but you kind of like it. I like seeing Mr. Bill get mutilated. That's fun. So I fucking love claymation. There's some great examples out there. But these days, the only claymation anyone's aware of is Jack Stauber's Opal. So the plot of this shitty little movie, which, mind you, has like over 1 million views. Damn, I wish any of my videos got over 1 million views. I sometimes wonder if like people who are insanely like lucky like that, like Jack Stauber, kind of like reflect on just like how insanely rare it is for a video to have over 1 million views. Whether they really treasure the fame they've got. Rather you just like take it for granted. It's a snap to get 1 million views if you live in California and you're a vapid hipster and all your nepotism buddies can set you up for life. you know, because of course it's just like a giant content mafia over there, and they just feed each other fame and fortune. You know, Jack Stauber is one of the worst figures on Adult Swim. He's one of the worst offenders, along with, you know, freaking, yeah, all of them. I've mentioned them a million times. It's the fucking worst. It's like the anti SNL. You know, it's like if you took like Gilda Radner and Lorraine Newman, but like it sucks and it's like ass. You know. So anyway, Opal. All the characters look like shit. They've got like these big malformed eyes. They look like fucking mutants, right? And this is supposed to be like charming. It's supposed to be like charming that these characters are designed poorly, so they're like ugly as fuck. Even the main character here, you're supposed to like, right? I don't like her. She's like ugly as fuck. You know, and again, it's a clay character. You can design a clay character to look appealing. Again, look at Gumby. Gumby looks fucking amazing. He looks snappy as shit. Mr. Bill, too. Mr. Bill is a fucking hunk, you know. Mr. Bill looks great. I like how Mr. Bill looks, you know. He's sharp, he's handsome, well-dressed, and he's not a fucking abomination like these Jack Stauber creatures. And I think Jack Stauber just assumes that because something is supposed to look old, like it has to look ugly, but that's not the case. Like, so many old cartoon characters and shit are so much more well designed than cartoon characters these days. That there's so much more thought and vision put into character design in old cartoons and claymation segments. So like right off the bat, the characters look like shit. But then the whole plot is just like utter garbage. It's this pretentious slop about like, so like this girl fantasizes that her life is like great, and there's like a billboard outside her window, and it's like for hamburgers, and she like imagines that her life is like great, but actually, get this right, her parents are abusive. Her dad smokes all the time, and like her brother's a narcissist or something, and then like her mom's like a drug addict or whatever. You know, you get the idea. Her mom's voiced by Jack Stauber, and it sounds like shit. It's like Jack Stauber voices all of them. You know, it's just ass. Like, and the whole message of the thing, I guess, is like just don't abuse your kids. And it's like, well, yeah, no shit. Don't smoke in front of your kids. Don't be a drug addict in front of your kids. You know, don't have kids if you're not fit to have kids. This is like the most obvious shit. I guess maybe millennials like Jack Stauber just have a hard time understanding it. Child abuse is bad, you know. This is just one of these very basic things that make sense to me on a basic fundamental level that I just accept as an inherent truth. Like, oh, organized religion causes mental illness, or suicide is irrational regardless of context. You know, there are just like some things where I just go, well, yeah, duh, you know, don't abuse your kids, don't beat up your kids, whatever. And the same goes for like Rick and Morty, where the whole like thing is like, oh, Rick is abusive to Morty. Isn't this wild? Wow, you've never seen this before. We're really shedding light on a big issue here. And it's like, well, yeah, just don't be abusive to your fucking kids or grandkids or whatever the fuck, you know? Just don't. And I don't need a cartoon to tell me this. I watch cartoons for fun. I don't see, you know, fucking Gumby getting abused by his parents. His parents are fucking upstanding, educated, fucking honest, upstanding members of society. You actually see like Gumby's dad and his mom in some episodes of Gumby, and they're like, you know, normal ass fucking people. They don't beat the shit out of Gumby. You know, you don't see Gumby's dad chain smoking in front of infant Gumby. You know, because that'd be like stupid, and I wouldn't want to watch that. And I think it's sad too that a lot of people aren't just like introduced to animation as an art form. And there aren't shorts like Art Clokey's Gumbasia anymore, which was kind of the blueprint for Gumby. It's like this wonderful, dazzling, psychedelic dreamscape of just like clay cylinders just like rotating and melding and just beautiful shit. And it's set to like this amazing jazz score. It's like one of the greatest like jazzy 50s pieces of all time. It's like so abstract and gorgeous, and you know, it's just like visually breathtaking, wonderful piece of animation and claymation. And then you just get like, yeah, I'm Jack Stauber. I'm the new visionary. I'm the new art cloaky. I'm the substitute for what used to be a great art form that was taken seriously by people back in the days before video games, you know, and you had to actually dedicate yourself to your craft. This is the one point I will give to Jack Stauber, is that all his shit is filtered through a real VCR. He doesn't use a VHS filter, so I'll give him credit there. He owns a VCR, but the problem is that none of the shit that he runs through the VCR actually looks old, because he's clearly not familiar with the aesthetic of the 90s or 80s or whatever fucking time period he's trying to emulate, and that's readily apparent if you watch any Jack Stauber cartoons, that they don't look like shit from the 90s or 80s, and only someone who only has a very superficial understanding of that time period would think that they do. But it's not like meant to look like actual VHS footage. It's just this bland millennial hipster recreation of the past with like fuzzy bullshit. And oh, it's so sad, you know, that Opal is being abused by her family. Oh, damn, you know, whatever is Opal to do? And it's just like vapid garbage that Adult Swim churns out. And I can't believe someone actually suggested this to me like 2 years ago and was like, oh, you don't like Jack Stauber? Oh, you don't like Adult Swim? Well, let me prove to you that they're great by showing you this absolute filth, like this absolute depressing tripe. You know, this unimaginative, cookie-cutter, bland-as-fuck bullshit that Adult Swim just keeps churning out. Really, I do think Opal is impressive in that it perfectly manages to convey the Adult Swim mindset and everything wrong with it, and how it ruins animation by consolidating it and just like, you know, giving it a really predictable, basic, bland formula, slathering that on top. Ooh, look, isn't this weird? Oh, damn, it's so abstract and crazy. These ugly fucking characters and their garbage-ass pop song. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's a musical too. Like the abusive dad who chain smokes sings a song about cigarettes, and they're like CGI, which wasn't even common in the fucking 90s. And they like do a little dance, and it doesn't sound like, you know, a fucking 90s song. It sounds like Mac DeMarco, because of course it does. Because for whatever reason, all these hipster musicians who claim to like take influence from the 80s and 90s or 70s or whatever, I guess the only music they listen to must be Mac DeMarco, because that's all I ever hear. But yeah, I mean, Opal is just a terrible example of animation, terrible example of filmmaking. And, you know, this is why I'm skeptical whenever something like Skinamarink comes along or whatever that everyone, like, praises as, oh, it's the hot new shit. Oh, man, this is so crazy. And then the director is like this, you know, schluppy hipster looking like, ooh. You know, I'm kind of like, okay, you know, I doubt this is going to be the masterpiece everyone proclaims it to be. Well, there's, like, fucking, you know, dozens of videos about Opal, dissecting the secrets of Opal. Oh, Opal is so deep. It's not that deep. It's just about, hey, you know, don't chain smoke in front of your toddler, which, like, yeah, okay, you know. And the really weird part is, you know, I'm an asexual. I'm never going to reproduce. I'm never going to have children. I just find it weird that this is such a common theme these days in media, just like, yo, don't abuse your kids. It's like, well, yeah, it's just like a really basic thing. Like, you know, don't kill people. Okay, I won't. I wasn't planning on it. I'm not going to have any kids, so you can't abuse them. You know, basic shit. But yeah, I just think it's really insensitive to use a topic like that even, and just make a shitty claymation special out of it. It's like, it's so fucking garbage. I can't stand it. I can't stand this type. of pretentious fucking media. And I don't recommend watching Opal. It's a great example of why not to watch Adult Swim. But what I would recommend you do right now is you should watch Gumbasia or Clokey. It's fucking amazing. It's freaking great. And maybe that'll inspire you to get out there with some modeling clay and make something really beautiful and magical. Instead of, idolizing this Jack Stauber joker and going, oh boy, Opal, I want to make crap just like this, and repeat this infinite cycle of just, nonsense. I'm so sick of this Californian approach to everything. People even call it, the CalArts style of animation. The fucking, Steven Universe and Adventure Time and all these cartoons are in the CalArts style of animation. Hey, here's an idea. I make the fucking Denver style of animation, yo. That's the style animation I specialize in. Fucking Denver. Why are we fucking thinking about California? The place is just gonna be an inhospitable desert in 5 years. Anyway, yeah. I just thought I'd make my opinion on Jack Stauber's Opal known. It's like a fucking shitty PSA from, a B-grade, collection. It's like one of those fucking, fire safety compilations or something. It's fucking fluff. It's one of the worst short animation films ever made, and you shouldn't watch it. Watch, Godzilla Meets Bambi or Bring Me the Head of Charlie Brown or something actually thought-provoking like that. Watch some good animation. Watch the good shit, is my point. There's a lot of it out there. Just, you won't find it on Adult Swim, so don't look for it there. Anyway, yeah, that's my little video, my little rant. Okay, good night. I'm so tired.